One of the world's biggest transport events will make its Southeast Asian debut right here in Singapore next week. It's the 26th Intelligent Transport Systems World Congress, and it will showcase the latest global technologies and feature the unveiling of the world's first full-scale Voloport for air taxis.
So joining us tonight are Andrew Chow, he's the co-chairman of the Congress Working Committee, and Fabien Nestmann, he's head of public affairs at Volocopter. Gentlemen, thanks very much for joining us this evening. Andrew, perhaps let's start with you. So we know that autonomous vehicles are set to be a big part of this Congress. Yes. And we also know, according to KPMG, that Singapore's quite ready in terms of being able to adopt these vehicles. I guess the question then is, how do we take that next step in terms of implementation, and how will this Congress sort of push us along?
So the intelligent transportation system is actually the innovations of services to the road and traffic systems. So it's basically help the users to be better informed, it help our road to be safe, and also it help to make smart use of our road infrastructure. Right. So in essence, ITS actually improve the quality of life as we get efficient road services. So this year we are very honored to be hosting the 26th ITS World Congress in Singapore. It actually rotates around the city, the global cities, and we are very honored to host it, first time in Southeast Asia. And we are going to bring more than 10,000 transport professionals into Singapore. And this comes from the Transport Authority and the industry and also the academia. Over 5 days, we have exchange, there will be exhibitions, there will be technical demos. So this actually will be one of the biggest events in this region.
Andrew, can you give us a quick preview of some of the new developments and technologies that we might see at the Congress?
So over the 5 days, we have 900 speakers, over 200 technical sessions, and we have more than 300 exhibitors showing their technologies and their products. And also, we have more than 20 technical tours that we conduct. So we'll bring some of the people from around the world to visit the ITS Center. We'll visit the AV testing center in NTU. We also visit some of our very state-of-the-art MRT depots. And on top of that, over at the floating platform, we have the technical demos that we run AV buses and showcase some of these technologies.
So Fabien, let's bring you in on the conversation. You were with Volocopter. It's been creating quite a bit of excitement, I think, because the last time people actually thought this was possible was when we were watching the Jetsons on TV. So we're talking about air taxis and air mobility in general in a built-up area. When you look at this sector that we have in Singapore, what are the possibilities you think, just looking into the future, and what are the challenges as well?
Sure. So I think Andrew just alluded to it. Singapore provides a very fertile ground for innovation and tech innovation because Singapore has taken the approach to embrace innovation and try and integrate it as much as possible, always thinking from a consumer/citizen perspective. So that's a great ground to kick things off in terms of innovation and regulation as well. And then for urban air mobility, or UAM, there's really two main drivers. There's traffic gridlock, and there is also maybe the inefficiency in transportation. Traffic gridlock in Singapore is, luckily for you guys, a little less pronounced, also because of policy measures you've installed than in other Asian megacities. But still, there is, traffic during the week. So that could be one reason to add urban air mobility to the, to the chain of mobility options that a citizen has in Singapore. And then the other option or driver really is inefficiency in the sense that geographically sometimes, because of crossing a river or bay or a mountain, transport is not super efficient, and then flying over that object could be really interesting. I'm thinking, crossing the river into JB in the morning or at night, or maybe going very quickly from Changi to Sentosa, thinking more about luxury tourists possibly. But there's always a nice list of options for every given city, and Singapore has a lot of them as well.
So tell us a bit more about what visitors can expect to see with the landing infrastructure that is anticipated for the Volocopter.
Right, so the Voloport, as we call it, it is essentially a vertiport, and that's a world's first that we're building here during ITS on the floating dock. And what we want to exhibit there with our partner Skyports is the first prototype of a landing infrastructure for urban air mobility vehicles, right? Because not only do you need to develop the aircraft, which we're doing, and you need to come up with a regulation, which is not an easy task, but something that is being worked on globally in Singapore as well. But you also need to create an infrastructure, build an infrastructure for air taxis to land on and to depart from. And this is what the Voloport aims to achieve. It is really a showcase to kick things off in terms of discussions with the regulators, but also with users and partners that want to build infrastructure for urban air mobility. Because if we're thinking about launching a product like an air taxi in the next 3 to 5 years, infrastructure needs to be built now, right? That's just the nature of real estate. It takes some time. So this is what we're aiming to offer with this Voloport.
All right, thank you very much, both of you, for coming into the studios. We wish we had more time to chat with you about this. It's very interesting to see. It will be at the landing platform?
Yes, it will be.
The landing infrastructure is going to be at the floating platform. Yes. Thank you both very much. Andrew, that was Andrew Chow there. He's co-chair of the 26th Intelligent Transport Systems World Congress Working Committee, as well as Fabien Nestmann. He's head of public affairs at Volocopter.
Thank you very much.